And that's why everyone is now Little after Lil Wayne. That is exactly why. Because as we grew up.
Hey, first things first, when I pop, I'ma get your hoe thirsty. I sign my paycheck in cursive, I'm worthy. Hoes in the VIP, always talking about my fashion. I tell her watch her tone, baby Keem ain't no virgin.
What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Zay back with another video. Today we're getting into something a little bit different. We got my man Zeke over here.
What it do?
You know what I'm saying? The Leaf Village Shinobi. My guy is here and we got some interesting things to talk about. First I want to really start off with Zeke, how you doing? Like what's going on in your life? Like what you been up to?
Life is good, let me tell you that. I mean, things have, for me, for the most part, after the whole quarantine thing, everything's been going good. I'm finally back at work, you know.
Yeah.
The office finally opened up. I'm a DA for those who don't know. But yeah, everything's great. What about you?
Everything's good, you know what I'm saying? Just progressing in life and just doing what I gotta do to make my money, you know, working, dropping these videos all the time as you guys can see.
With Baby Juice.
Of course with Baby Juice, you know, be putting him in a lot more videos as well in the future. Everything's good, like 2020 started off bad, but right now, bro.
2020 had, not gonna lie, horrible start.
Yeah,
Juice
terrible.
WRLD, Kobe.
Terrible.
A lot of L's in 2020, but don't worry. You can bounce back at any time. Trust.
Yeah, 2020 is starting to show me that it could possibly be a good year because of the negatives that happen. Like, I feel like a lot of the things that happen set up a lot of the good things that are happening for me and for others.
Oh, for sure.
As well, like, you know, a lot of people right now are collecting this unemployment check or living their life. They're probably getting paid more by unemployment than they were in their actual jobs.
No cap.
You know, so like, I know tons of people who are like gambling or hard rock enjoying their life because they got more free time, more money, and they're forced to stay home, which means they're forced to save. But that's gonna segue into today's video. Today's video is about progression. So the question I have for you, Zeke, is what is your definition of progression?
That is a really complicated question because there's so many perspectives that you can really look at when it comes to progression. Me, personally, I say progression is a way of life. You know, like not just my life, but in my opinion, life all of itself. For those who don't believe in God, you still have a way of believing in progression through evolution. Now, when you look at it in the Christianity way, which is my route, you have to progress along with God. You need to build your relationship with Him. It can also relate to lifting weights. You're skinny when you first start, you progress as you go forward. You get what I'm saying? Your YouTube channel. Start off 1 subscriber, where we at now?
720.
Yeah. There's so many different ways and so many different ways to just say what progression is, and there's so many different ways to just define that word. It's a strong word.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's
I feel like
way of life.
I feel like, yeah, but I can agree with what you're saying 100%. I believe that with it being, you know, a way of life, you can utilize it in like any way that you want, for anything that you want to progress in. Because you can choose to progress in being the best sneakerhead in the world. You can choose to progress in being the strongest man in the world. You can choose to progress to be the best actor. And you can choose to progress in literally every aspect of life. So it's just about, you know, the actions that take place behind what you're doing, I guess, to define what you want to progress in. So for you, Zeke, what are the actions that you can say on a daily basis you contribute to your personal progression?
Okay.
For the progression of Zeke.
So for me, personally, I work out every single day. I'm trying to get bigger. I get it. Skinny. I get it. On top of that, my job as a dental assistant requires you to constantly learn, constantly evolve, and be better every single day. You need to learn something. My objective when I come into the office is to just learn something. You know what I mean? When I come in the office, I need to leave knowing something that I didn't know when I got here. So that's how I go about progression. And as far as, you know, the working out thing, I do my best. It comes with eating and all that, but that's my progression.
So you could agree that your progression is organized in order by what you want most.
Yeah.
So right now, if you had to organize your progression as to who you are, you have DA at the top. So that's why you can go to work and be like, my main focus is to learn, versus someone else who goes to work, my main focus is to make money. You're gonna get two different personalities there, and you're gonna have two different type of success ratios there as well. Like, because he goes to work just to learn, because he enjoys to
Blew my mind.
learn. No, it's the truth. But when you go to work to learn, you know, like you go in there with a positive attitude. You go in there with nothing that's gonna shut your day down, because if something bad happens, it's another task, you know, added to one of your objectives so that you can learn. You know, it's just like another thing that's just there, like, oh, that sucks. It doesn't really suck. I'm gonna learn how to do this shit next. So like, that mindset is a lifestyle for sure, because it's gonna keep you, you know, elevating much faster than someone who goes for an object, for money, or for some new shoes, or for this car, or for this crib. Like that motivation right there is gonna be completely different, you know. So that's why I asked. So now, what drives you outside of becoming a DA? What drives you to even do that?
Driving me, now I'll be honest, I had a lot of experiences in the past.
Yeah.
Whether they be negative or positive, they drove me. You know what I mean? I was pushed, I had my back pushed against the wall multiple times. That motivates you to be better.
Yeah, that's so true.
When people shit on you, that motivates you to be better.
Yep.
It's a lot of things that motivate me. Motivation comes from within. You need to be self-motivated. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's not really anything that can keep you motivated except for you.
Yeah.
So that's how I look at it. Of course, everyone looks at it differently. That's my perspective.
Gotcha. It's the op.
Pretty much. Yeah.
It's the op. So like everybody hears this in like movies and like shows and music 1,000 times in one. 1,000 times a day you probably hear the word op in music. Like, because an op doesn't necessarily have to be a person. It can be a situation, just an obstacle, an opposition. Those things always turn into something better, because you don't want to face this problem again. You don't want to feel the way someone had told you that you are again.
And even if you do feel like that, you want to be able to never feel like that again.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
You never want to allow the negativity told to you or given to you be true going forward. Because that stuff lasts for like, what, a second? Like you get told, you're a piece of shit. After they say you're a piece of shit, that word it's not even there no more. It only was there after they said the word, you're a piece of shit. The minute it's done out of their mouth, it's fucking gone.
Unless you hold it in.
Yeah, unless you hold it in, and that's the thing. You can't take that past experience and make it fucking sit in you. And you know,
it can drive you.
Yeah, and
it can drive
what you're doing, you know, it's still an op that can oppose you from doing what the fuck you want to do, or you can let it be an obstacle and get the fuck over it and make sure that the next time someone calls you a piece of shit, you feel so fucking good about yourself, doesn't even bother you.
Literally.
You know, so there's a lot of ways to take, you know, these ops, you know, but progression is always going to be the forefront of everything. I know my last video I discussed communication. I believe communication and progression go hand in hand. In order to progress, you need to communicate with it. So I feel like when you come up with the actions, like you said, going to work and just wanting to learn, that's communication that's communication with the progress. Yeah. Like, progress, come fucking here. I need you right here, right fucking now, because I need this, and everything you're gonna give me is gonna make me want it more, and it's awesome because I want to go through this shit. Right. I want to go through it.
Now you've asked me questions.
Yeah.
Let me ask you.
Go.
Like in my situation, I've been working out all day, every single day. I don't really see that many results. So, in your perspective now, how would you speed that process?
I like to think of our brains. I like to think of our brains as like the world's strongest supercomputer. Okay. Right? So how do you optimize any progression in download speeds or in video game renders or in anything on a computer?
Update.
You update, that could be true depending on what update or what software, but what I was gonna get to is that you optimize your computer. You shut down software in the background. You cut off tasks that are running. You turn those things off, and what does that do? That frees up space, that cools your computer down, and lets you speed up what you're doing. So for me, if I were to say how do you speed up progression, I would say cut the bullshit out. Like honestly, just cut the bullshit out. If you know that you're spending a lot of time doing something and it's not in direct contact with your progression, cut it the fuck out. And then you're gonna make more room for your progression. Now fill up that time spot that you're so used to using up with more activities to progress. You know? And then that's how you speed it up. Like for me, I can use my real life example. Like there's a lot of things I cut out. I used to play games, I still play games sometimes when I have free time. But like, I cut a lot of shit out. Like I used to game hard 11, 12 hours, and I had to think back to know that, yo, I really sat there every day for 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 hours in streams. I really did that. And editing a video takes me 4 hours. To shoot a video takes me 3. So there was no excuse to not chase the bag of YouTube that I always talked about. I talked about it, my actions didn't fucking match what I was doing. So like my actions didn't match what I wanted. So in order to progress faster, I had to free up that time. Stop playing games, stop watching movies, stop even watching other YouTubers. I don't like, bro, one of my favorite YouTubers is not even because I like his personality, but just because I love his work ethic, and I sat there and studied his work ethic for a long time, is Pontiac May DDG. This guy he uploads every day. Sometimes he uploads 2, 3 times a fucking day. And he does this every single day. If not on one channel, not on the second channel, on the third, on some channel, every day, 1, 2, or 3 times a day he's uploading. And for me, that was like, bro, how do you do that? How do you have these many channels? People are active on these many channels. They all are over 1 million, and you're dropping every day. Like how? Like for me, I was like, bro, how do you do that? And then you watch how much he films. You watch what situations he films, and I was like, okay, I need to free up my damn time in order to do this, in order to like make this whole thing happen. So what I do, like I let all that shit go. And now I take the time every day, before I do shit, before I hit the game, before I go hang out, before I go out and do anything. Even when I go out, I ask if there's opportunities to shoot videos. Like I went to my friend Cayman's birthday, which is the video that I was unable to upload because it got corrupt. I asked before going if I could shoot when I went, because I knew I wasn't gonna fucking go if I couldn't shoot while I was there, because I refuse to put an obstacle in my face to where it's gonna stop me from progressing. The way I kind of really got to where I am with my work ethic and doing as much as I'm doing and still trying to, go to work, still working 40 hours and still doing all I'm doing, is I realized I had to fall in love with the actual progress. I had to fall in love with the process and with the progress. So I have to trust it. It's the only way. So I stopped looking at, oh, what's the best viral YouTube videos? I started looking at, how can I make the simplest thing look amazing? How can I shoot better? How can I change up my camera quality? What lighting do I need? What LUTs do I want to use? Like what like lens? I'm looking at different lenses now. Like how do I want to shoot off my lenses? What setting? What's the best ISO? What's the best aperture for different situations? All those things. What's the best aspect ratio to upload to YouTube? What's the best rendering? Like all those things I go through and I color grade all my videos for every YouTube video, because I want to learn how to give the best videos even if I'm shooting my toes. Because at that point, I started uploading more because I was so focused on my next video being better than the last video. I was no longer caught up in like, oh, this video has to blow up. If not, I'm fucking done. A lot of people get caught up in that, like, oh, this has to be the one. If it's not, it's over. But it's like, that's not how you get it. That's not how you get it. You get it through learning. And then another thing that I learned is the more you do, the faster you progress. So I'm gonna explain. If I were to keep up my old YouTube upload schedule, right? If I were to upload 1 to 2 videos a month, but that's because you look at that like crazy now because how much I'm uploading now, but like that's what normal people do. They do like maybe once a week. So 4 times is nothing still compared to what I'm doing. It's 4 times in a month. There's a video every week that's 4 times in a month. I'm talking about every single day. If I multiply that by 12, what's 4 times? Damn, I can't do math. 4 times 12 is 48, right? So that's 48 videos in a year. I knock 30 videos out in a month. That means, if you actually think about it in terms of growth and who is smarter now, I'm gonna be years ahead of somebody.
Literally.
I'm gonna be, because I've edited so many videos, my shortcuts, the way, my finger speed, everything is being done so much in repetition that I'm years ahead of you in 1 year because you wanna upload once a week. And that's not a bad, like, for YouTubers, that's not a bad, like, upload schedule. It's not, like, once a week is decent. Like, you have a life, I understand. For the regulars. I wouldn't have 29 videos, bro, by this month if I would've kept my regular upload schedule.
For sure.
Which means I wouldn't have been as smart. I wouldn't have been as good as editing. There's a lot of 15 videos in. That I wouldn't have learned till 15 videos in of months. Like,
that's the thing with progression is it's so crazy how much you evolve as you progress. You know, both of those words technically go hand in hand. But in a way, they're not the same. You get what I'm saying?
No, they're not for sure.
And evolution is a complete different metamorphosis where you change. Progression is leading up to that evolution.
Exactly.
But that's why I say they go hand in hand. But it's crazy to see the result. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like when you really put the work in.
Yeah, when you put the work in, that's the craziest thing, because I can give you guys your favorite artist, right? Lil Wayne. Why Lil Wayne? Lil Wayne? Because I remember in fucking middle school, this man had a mixtape every week with like fucking 15 songs.
No cap.
Dude, every week.
No cap.
This man had a fucking mixtape out with a fucking list. Like, not even an album.
Is one song to hit. And he was hitting every single song.
And that's why everyone is now little after Lil Wayne. That is exactly why. Because as we grew up, bro, this man worked so hard, and like, yeah, you can look away trash and say garbage, but you know what? He got good at giving little pieces of shit to the point where the little shit he gave was immaculate. Because he made so much fucking music to the point where his 100th song or his 300th, his 1000th song came so quick. So he has time for years later to get better, even now. So there was a point where Lil Wayne was like the greatest of all time because he could sit there off the fucking top and give you the craziest shit because he does it every fucking day.
Every single day.
That is a testament to progression itself and how fast you can evolve, how fast you can become better.
With progression also comes repetition.
Yeah, like exactly, it's repetition. Everyone has their threshold. Like there's gonna be the limit where you can't pass and how many uploads you do. You know, there's gonna be a limit for everyone. There is a limit. But there's also the limit that they get for the average. And the average is always a fucked up number to go by because that means people who don't do anything in the middle of people who do everything is your average. It's a fucking super big range of shit. You should never listen like, oh, at least drop a YouTube video a week. Like I used to do that shit. At least do one a month. Go really hard at this. And it's like, nah, bro.
It don't work for everybody.
Nah, bro. Whatever you want to do that shit every fucking day.
To the best of your ability.
As much as you can, to the best of your ability. But the one thing I can say is don't like stress over the outcome so much to where you're delaying your progression. That's a big problem. Like you could be like so caught up in making this video the best video, for me, I say videos, but making this song the best song in the world that you don't put it out for 3 fucking years. Then you see somebody use some of your bars and you're like, fuck, I thought of that first, but I didn't put it out. I've done that shit. I come up with fucking bars, never put it out. Fucking somebody ran into all of the sings of the same shit years later. And then it's on a song that blows. So now if I put my song out, I'm looking like I'm copying them. I didn't put this shit out. But it's because you delayed the progression. You wait, you hold it. So give yourself a good limit. Rush yourself to a certain extent. Don't dwell to the point where you're not growing. Because if you don't do, you're just not gonna go. No matter what you do, as long as you're not in action, you're not gonna grow.
Don't be afraid to change.
That's what progression is to me though. That's what progression is, taking action behind what you want. You know, so when you don't take action or you delay your action, even if you want it really bad, you will not have it because you're not putting the steps in. But with that being said, hope you guys like this video. If you did, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and turn on post notifications if you want to see more of your boy. And with that being said, you will see your boys later.
Can I get some water? It's been empty for like 20 minutes.
Yes. Yeah, boy, later.
Rock that shit, little P. Pull up on the block on the street. KKK on my feet. That nigga bring he ain't eating in a week. That boy eating the street. Right now, that boy having that feast. K.A. bon appetit. Cook up, shuffle your D. I turn up the one and be like a leaf. It's a new year, but I'm making a leap.